So, this is me entering my classroom, and I got a new classroom this school year. I changed classrooms, but I'm still teaching the same grade, which is kindergarten. I work at a school in Georgia, and teachers are coming back into the building to start the school year. And so, this is prep week for teachers. The space is pretty big. Like it's like a medium-sized classroom. These are all the furnishings that I have in the classroom, which are tables and shelving for the most part, but it's pretty much just furniture pieces that I have to put in place. So I was able to place all the furniture, and I haven't brought in any really essential things that I need for teaching because the kids aren't coming in. So it's kind of easy to put the room together since it was just furniture. My personal things are at my apartment at this point, and I just really didn't know what all to bring because the kids weren't going to be there. Um, so this is a layout of the classroom. Um, I didn't know whether to set it up with the idea of kids coming in later in the year, but I just set it up so that if they were to come in for open house or for registration, that it would be set up and kid friendly. So here's another view of my classroom. So I decided to decorate my classroom with um, Pete the cat. And so I'm putting up the bulletin boards and just trying to get excited about the school year, I guess, and anxious about how everything is going to go. But I decided to put up at least the bulletin board, word wall, ABCs, and numbers, even though the kids were not going to be coming into the classroom. I really didn't know how far to decorate because usually I go all out, but this year it was kind of just like, well, let me get the bulletin boards put together. At least something is up on the wall in case the principal or assistant principal or the kids come in to meet the teacher day. Their room would at least be kid friendly and exciting for them.
Hi, you all. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. The last time I posted a video on YouTube, it was back in March. I was in Chicago helping my sister move back to Georgia and also doing online learning as a kindergarten teacher in Georgia. We had distance learning toward the end of the 2020 school year, and so now we have started the 2020-2021 school year, and the kids are, still somewhat having to do online learning if they choose to, and going into the school if they want to do in-person learning as their choice for the school year. So I started off really gung-ho about getting started, but really anxious at the same time because not knowing much of anything about COVID as far as the preventative methods that the school district I work for is going to put into place at the school. I really was anxious to see how that was going to play out and what process was going to occur once teachers were allowed back into the school, with social distancing and with the requirements of the CDC. Just wondering how the school system was going to put all that together. So the first initial week I went back to work, pretty much stayed in my classroom until it was time for meetings, and I went to meetings, and we made sure as a group, as a team, to sit apart from each other 6 feet away, if not more, and to wear our masks and to be as cautious as we could be. And the feeling was a little bit uneasy for me, but for some it wasn't an issue, wasn't a problem as much as it was for me. And so I kind of dealt with it in my own way, and most of the other times we were able to stay in our classrooms and go to virtual meetings and virtual trainings instead of meeting as whole group as a school. So I worked a week, and then the next week, the second week, we got a letter from the district saying that the students would be coming back for in-person learning if they so desire to come back. Which was a shock because in Georgia at the time the rates were still going up. We had our mayor and school affiliated workers appear on CNN, and just it was weird thinking about going back to work when the rates of COVID-19 was going up and up and up, and continuously still are. So this first week and a half, we did trainings as teachers, trying to learn as much as we could of how the district wanted us to do things, and trying to decorate a classroom knowing that the kids weren't going to necessarily come back in immediately. Them coming back in would be maybe after 2 weeks of school starting. And then having having to be told that everything your grade level does will have to be the same from every teacher, so that every student gets the same, pretty much the same teachings and learning material, so that no kindergarten is out of the loop as to what to do, and the parents would have resources and to be able to contact another parent or their neighbor who has a kid attending the school, and they would kind of be like on the same page as to what was required and what wasn't, which is understandable because you don't want to lose kids. You want the kids to have as much help and guidance as they can have, being that they were going to be at home initially starting for the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks of school. But it was just something about sitting in a classroom with no students, the classroom being half decorated, and stressed and anxious about the COVID-19 and what was going to come of that. And I remember sitting in my classroom and just like at a loss as to what to do, how to plan, how to do anything besides not try to freak out about the situation that I was in. I didn't agree with teachers having to come to work. I felt as if we could do um, online learning at home. And I really felt some kind of way that the school district wasn't really taking into account their workers, the teachers' feelings about how things should go or how things should be. Realizing that the superintendent was not going to make the call to have teachers stay at home and teach, I kind of just decided to bow out and not do teaching for the 2020-2021 school year. And so therefore I have been at home and I have been getting the rest needed, getting my ideas together and goals together for the future, and just coming to terms with being okay with knowing my self-worth and wanting to be able to aspire to my dreams and goals in life. It was a hard decision to make, but I can always go back to teaching if I need to. I love teaching. I do love teaching kids, but I don't really enjoy the behind the scenes aspect of teaching, the paperwork, the constant meetings. I couldn't I couldn't jump through another hoop. I really couldn't. I couldn't jump through another hoop, and I wasn't about to jump through another hoop and work hard and still not get any more benefits added to the job. We're working more hours. It took a lot to do the online learning. I worked long hours at home. I didn't have to, but I chose to work longer hours at home, and it was just not we weren't compensated for it. It was always one thing after the next, and we need you guys to do this, and you guys have to do that, and you guys should show us how you're going to do this. And it got to where like I couldn't even breathe. And at one point I was just sitting at a table, and it's just like I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. It's just too much. And so when people say enough is enough, and you'll get to know when enough is enough for you, that's where I was the second week of teachers going back to work. So I put in my my notice, and I haven't been working since. And God has been good because I've been supported by family. I have been really positive about the situation as much as I can be. There are down times, but most times I'm upbeat and happy and more stress free than I was before. I'm not anxious in the morning times about going to work. I'm not anxious about possibly catching something or giving something to the kids. And I was really concerned about greeting children into the workplace, knowing that they're not safeguarded, knowing that there's no 100% I can keep you safe, and their family's safe. So I'm happy with the decision. I'm okay with the decision, and I'm making the best of it. So you probably want to know what I've been doing with that time. I have decided to go into a candle making business, and so this channel, for at least right now, will mostly be about my day-to-day life and candle making and starting up a business. So if you would like to continue on this journey and see how I go about starting up my candle business, please continue to comment, like, and check out my videos as they're posted. But I'm so glad to be back on YouTube, so glad to provide content to you guys, and I look forward to the journey.